Rick, I think he was singing to you, man. You've been everywhere.
Not quite, but I'm working on it.
I am too.
I'm working on it.
Joel, you are our featured guest. Introduce yourself, sir.
I am Joel Athy. I've been in the business now 19 years. We run a team here at the Atlanta Classic, and just my wife and I, we're husband and wife team, and continue to build our team. And our goal is to be an MREA in the next couple of years, and we're
Uh,
working on it.
okay.
No finer people in the land. We love the
Let's put it
Athletes.
out there. We're recording. So we've got that goal. You're also Mr. 300. Do you want to share what that is?
Well, I'm on the ALC, and this year I'm over the committee of growth, and our goal is 300 agents by the end of 2024. Not
Yeah.
299,
Yeah,
but 300.
299 was failing. You're Mr. 300. All right. Well, listen, let's jump into this. No further ado. Uh we've got some interesting numbers, but this is our where did it go? This is our last industry update of 2023. And so I think it'd be kind of fun to I put the graph on actually here. Let me pull it down to 23 here. Right around here. So that's what the year looked like in Fulton County. What you got? Um, it certainly didn't look like it had a lot of peaks and valleys. It looked like a steady up, maybe a little bit down. A normal year that those lines would look much higher in late spring and summer months, and it just kind of looks like it was a bleh of a line for the year. What did y'all feel?
Well, me personally, we felt that it things continue to go up in Georgia. We're one of the fortunate ones where things are still steadily going up. We're not getting that spike like we did before, but steadily going up. And we anticipate that it will continue to just steadily go up between probably 3 to 5% in 2024.
Yeah.
So, and I'm starting to feel, I don't know if everybody else, but I'm starting to feel we're getting more calls. We're getting more people who are
Yeah,
looking
we're
to
gonna talk
sell
about
and buy over the last couple of weeks.
that. So I feel like some year, you can talk about it and people talk about it personally, but sometimes it happens in business like you're ready for the year to be done so you can move on. And 2023 was a okay year in business, but I'm ready for it to be done because 2024 has a lot of really good optimistic signs in the road ahead. And we're going to jump into that, but let me make sure I round out the numbers for everybody. Inventory, I think you're going to see in all the counties came way down this week, and it's typically people taking their houses off the market before the holidays. So inventory went from 737 in Fulton County 2 weeks ago down to 488, but we've got 79 active under contract. We've got 216 pending, which I love. And we had 242 closings and we had 293 the week before. So, man, activity is flying. It's just the inventory is going to finish the year probably a little bit low and then pop right away. Now, pause before I keep going through the numbers. If somebody has their house on the market, Joel or Rick, and they're keeping it on the market through the holidays, what's that tell us?
Short answer is they're motivated. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
motivated or it's vacant. There's potential that it's vacant, which usually implies motivation because there's no income producing activity or functional utility in using it.
Yeah. And let's pair that conversation. If somebody's looking at houses during the holidays, what does that say about them?
They're very motivated.
So now we
Yeah,
got
they're
serious sellers and we got serious buyers. I hope we got serious agents out there making that thing happen because they're motivated people. If you're talking about real estate right now, whether it's a seller or a buyer, their motivations are high.
Can I just say this? It's a seller's market, obviously, because the absorption rate, but it's the great time for buyers, because what we're seeing in the industry is that the buyers are getting more concessions, more closing costs, more time to look over the house, due diligence periods. So great time for buyers between now and the middle of January to really
Oh,
purchase a house.
So
it's
here's another
serious pro time.
another consideration is that this is also the time of year when the average consumer takes a deep breath and sits back for a minute and kind of collects thoughts. And maybe they're at home with family. Maybe there's a few days off, some half days. This is a perfect time to start feeding them opportunities if they're on the buy side. Perfect time to go, hey, did you notice this house that's in your target area and your target price? And then proactively reach out because they're probably a little less chaotic and hectic and maybe a little more available.
100%. I just I, we we went through a period of time where we had no motivation, right? Like people were just frozen in time over these interest rates. And I just am celebrating the fact that we've got motivation out there right now. And I think it feels really good. Here's DeKalb. They're a little more peak and valley in DeKalb than some of the other counties. But if we run over here, this chart, look how long we've been tracking numbers. We got 309 in active inventory in DeKalb, down from 400 a week ago or 2 weeks ago. 49 active under contract, 126 pending, and 154 closings. Now look at this. 154 this week, 142 the week before, 154 the week before that. There's some serious real estate moving in DeKalb County right now. I find that really encouraging. And if we just run out to the other big county that we typically service in Cobb, and we wait, I'm kidding. These numbers look very similar, obviously, right? And if I just pull it down, not as many peaks and valleys. DeKalb had the biggest upswing this year, but Cobb County looked pretty strong in inventory, yet they dipped at the end of the year as well. So Cobb County went from 375 2 weeks ago to 299 to 264. But they had 53 under contract, 127 pending, and 150 closing. So look at this. 150 this week, 189 the week before, 164 the week before that. Same comment. That's some serious real estate moving through those counties right now. So I feel really encouraged by the activities. I'm not discouraged by the lack of inventory because that's a seasonal temporary effect. Anything else y'all to add?
I think you
I
summed it
mean,
up.
no, yeah, you summed it up pretty good.
All right. One more set of numbers that I'm excited to put on the screen. Boom. So
That is good news.
this is good news. Now,
Yes.
every economist that I read predicts that we're going to be sitting here 12 months from now. And what's the interest rate they're predicting we're going to end next year with? 6.5. Now, I think we may do better than that if we're already at 6.6.
I'm sure it depends on inflation and the impact of what this current rate does in the economy and the market.
I agree. And I wouldn't be shocked to see a 5 on the FHA in a 15-year in 2024. But
I wouldn't be surprised either.
here,
I mean, because they're saying that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
you go ahead, Joel.
No, I was just gonna say that they're predicting that they're gonna probably drop the rates probably about 3 times. And maybe the first is going to be in March.
Yeah.
So that would I believe that would help us to get a lower interest rate as far as from the mortgage side.
I think this is going to move buyers into the market first quarter on fire. I think people are ready to go. I think they see this interest rate and feel good about it. I think it's going to cause sellers to sell their house because they've been sitting on the sidelines, discouraged of having to, they might sell, but then they would have to turn around and pay the high interest rate if they were to buy. So they're getting more motivated the lower those interest rates come down. And ultimately, the other factor about 24 that you got to mention is we're in a political cycle, meaning it's an election year.
Mm-hmm.
And politicians, right or wrong, like us to be happy when we vote. So I think that works in our favor economically in 2024. Is that okay to say, Rick?
I mean, you're right. Everybody has a different opinion. I'll
Yeah,
leave
of
that on
course.
a shelf. But typically, the ramp up in a year of an election is there's more stability and things tend to look rosier in the
Yep.
interim.
Yep. And if you just look at this right here, we hit 7.5 on a 30-year fixed. We're almost a point off that. So not that a lot of people bought with a 7.5, but our mortgage friends are going to start to, at some point in time, start to see some refi opportunity that comes to play. And people are going to be, remember how we say, get the best deal now and get the best rate later. That's where that statement starts to come into play, right? Like people are going to start to get better rates and be able to refinance their affordability in their houses really soon.
Marry the house and date the rate.
There you go. We've said it many, many times. All right. I'm going to go to crazy first. Is that fair?
I see Grant
So,
Cardone's
uh,
name. He is
there's
great.
this article, and I'm going to go online and say Grant Cardone is the Stephen A of business. He's got to say something controversial to get headlines, and he likes to be attention grabbing. So I'm going to just put that at the top of this article that I just I laughed when I read this article is all I'm going to say. He went on to say that he thinks real estate is entering the greatest correction he's ever seen. And what he means by that is he actually expects prices to come down. And I don't agree with that. He thinks that there's going to be a massive price correction that will make it easier for everyday people to purchase homes instead of large financial institutions. I don't think that's going to happen. Do y'all?
I can say this, unless I anticipate a wave of people would have to come onto the market, sellers. They would have to jump onto the market before buyers even got started in order for prices to really come down. We would have to have a lot of inventory, which I just don't see because right now we have interest rates coming down, and typically that's going to motivate the buyers
Yeah.
a little faster than I would believe the sellers. So I don't quite agree. It would be great to get more inventory, but I don't quite agree with his logic.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
and that's a universal statement that's global, and we all know it's a hyper local conversation, and so it's kind of foolish. Headline grabbing for sure. And this cat's in the business of also selling his course and how to get rich buying real estate, and he knows things have slowed down on the investor front. He knows that people are playing more cautiously. He knows that interest rates do affect consumer perspective. And at the end of the day, supply and demand drive and rule when it comes to price. And right now, there's still more demand than supply, to Joel's point. And unless housing starts or people flood, or there's not this. The last correct there in his lifetime as a guy 12 years old, was he not around in 2008,
Yeah.
9,
So
10?
okay.
So when we had 60% distress, I don't see 60% distress sales coming, short sales and
No.
foreclosure. So that's, to Joel's point, that's the flood that created so much havoc and too many, underqualified buyers. And to the lending world's credit, we've done a better job qualifying people, and, fewer people, ninja loans are a thing of the past, and, no income, no job, no nothing. Don't worry, sign here. So he's just grabbing headlines. We'll leave that
Well,
there.
I will say some of this is backed by theory. And the theory is that the government's going to give tax incentives to large institutions to put inventory into the market. Meaning, if I'm Open Door and I'm sitting on 100,000 properties, I might get a tax incentive to list those houses in the MLS for an average consumer to buy. Um, that could create some extra inventory. And I've actually heard chief economist at NAR talk about that. He's lobbying the government to do tax incentives for large institutions. I still don't see it being a flood of inventory. Um, and then he said it's going to be epic levels. I think his epic prediction is not going to be epic. He said that he blamed the Federal Reserve for single-handedly killing the housing market with interest rate hikes. Maybe I can maybe give him some truth there. He said the Fed chair did not control inflation. I disagree. They brought inflation down to a much more stable level.
The data would argue against him for sure.
But at the end of the day, I mean, attention grabbing, and then for Inman to pick it up's even funnier, but we'll leave it there. I don't think there's a lot of weight to this outside of media. Be careful what you read on the internet, right? Or at least listen to us talk about it.
I think it was a tough year for, realtors and the housing market. But I think it was, something that was needed because, I mean, when you think about where the prices were going, and a lot of people are talking now that it can be unaffordable for sometimes the average working person. And if it hadn't gotten some kind of control around it, there's no telling where we could be right now as far as the value of the houses. So and sometimes we don't want it, but sometimes it's a necessary evil.
100%.
Well, the gift is the curse, Joel. You're right. I mean, 10 years of double-digit appreciation and interest rates that were historically unrealistically low. I mean, at some point you got to give some back. And so price correction of a lifetime is, again, that's a headline grabbing, that's just media, but we have to give some back. And I don't think it's healthy to have that level of appreciation indefinitely, because to your point, affordability is impacted. But the only way to slow things down is interest rate hikes, which that's how it works.
Cost of money. Yeah.
That's it. That's how it works. You want to slow things down, make it harder to go spend.
Yep.
And so now hopefully they find middle ground and we net out something in a little more equilibrium.
Well, and he was on Fox News, so you got to think about that too.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. So on the Atlanta Business Chronicle, the summary article says mortgage rates, housing inventory expected to see slight improvement in 2024. I think we've already seen a big chunk of improvement on mortgage rates already. And I do think inventory is going to be better in 2024. I think we'll sell more houses in 2024. I feel really optimistic about 2024, especially the first quarter. I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to make some buying and selling decisions right out the gates in 2024 that they've been sitting on the sidelines. I mean, people are in their houses right now. Probably the house they wish they weren't in because they would have sold in previous year or two during the holidays, that are going to make some decisions. And my advice is buckle up. If you're not running at max speed by January 15th, you're going to miss it, because I expect first 90 days of 2024 to come out swinging. And this is what everybody's predicting. So they're being modest in their prediction. I do think Here's the statement. Most, however, agree the conditions for housing will improve, even if only slightly, and that's expected to unlock inventory, moderate home price appreciation, not depreciation, and make transactions easier to achieve. What is moderate home price appreciation? Probably 4 to 5%. But all things considered, this is funny. Redfin expects mortgage rates to finish at 6.6. NAR says 6.3. Realtor.com says 6.5. Yet we're already at 6.6 this morning. So there's no the waiting game of waiting on interest rates should be over to an educated buyer. Like, you're going to get a good rate now. Let's go. So I feel really good about all that. I want to talk about this real quick. So before I jump into this article, what happens to real estate around the Beltline?
Goes up.
Appreciation for sure.
Appreciate, yes.
Yeah, I think as
impact.
Atlanta continues to build this Beltline, the value of the real estate and the commercial and residential direct access to Beltline is actually going up. And this article talks about all the development they're planning on doing in 2024 on the Northeast side, the East side, the South side, the West side, and the Northwest Trail. And my question is, as real estate professionals, what do we do with this information?
Social media posts, go out there and take pictures and videos of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Publicize the potential that it has for not just appreciation, but quality of life. When you connect communities, the delineation of areas becomes less discernible. And I think it becomes, we become more cohesive as a community. I think it's the greatest idea to ever show up in terms of connecting the dots between polarized communities.
Oh, yeah. I also think from a wealth perspective, you could buy houses in the expansion areas prior to the expansion and ride the appreciation of that real estate as it goes up. Because I think we've got good data saying homes within walking distance of the Beltline have appreciated really well as this Beltline continues to be developed. So you could be smart with investors or yourself, I hope, from a wealth perspective, but also educate yourself using it as a marketing point, as Jane put, for social media. I think this is something as a real estate professional you need to be very in tune with in the Atlanta real estate market.
And they say it should be 85% finished by 2024, by the end of 2024. So the question would be is what 15% is not on the radar just yet, but where investors may want to be.
Yeah. Hubert, are you cold?
Yes, we need heat. Send heat to the Buckhead office.
Uh-oh, we need to get that fixed. All right.
That backfired, Brett.
Uh-oh.
Hey, we're controlling costs. That's what all realtors should do as you generate more revenue.
Oh, all right. Sorry I asked. All right. Top 20 things realtors really want for Christmas in 23. There's not a lot in here, but lower interest rates. You already got that gift. It's down. More sellers. That gift is coming. Inventory is going to
no. Brett, motivate sellers.
Okay. Honest to goodness people who are motivated and willing to sell their homes.
Right.
I think that's coming. It's
Right.
coming, guys. It's coming. And it'll be here in 24. A court for the media, or at least Grant Cardone. I don't know. Clients who read the contract, that would be nice.
That would be nice.
A get out of jail free card. Everybody's all worried about these lawsuits. I don't see it affecting directly agents. And I certainly don't think anybody's going to jail over it, but whatever. States will stop trying to change us from independent contractors to employees. yes, we understand as 1099 independent contractors, there's some tax benefits to that. The government obviously has always tried to turn us into W-2 employees. This is what your political action committees help prevent on a global scale. Reasonable insurance companies. We had just partnered with a new health insurance company, if you're not aware, that I mean, we're excited about what we offer at the heart of Atlanta around health insurance. And I think that would be amazing. And we're not in an area that is out of control around homeowners insurance. So we're blessed in that regard, but there are parts of the country that insurance, you want to talk about interest rates being a factor. Insurance is a double factor in some states like Florida and things like that, just because of insurance companies. Clients who accept the fact that we know more than them about real estate. Never had that happen. A list of the top 10 cities for 2024. If you click this link, tells you the top 10 cities where people are wanting to invest. Unfortunately, we're not on that list, but that doesn't mean we're not a good investment. We're just not in the top 10. Lead generation companies that actually produce leads. I believe the real estate agent, by and large, has recognized the difference between a registration and an actual lead. And I believe the lead aggregators of tomorrow understand and have changed their pricing to represent that. Meaning, if it's a bona fide lead, it's worth this versus here's 10 people that clicked on a website. That value is much lower. Buyers with hot feet, that's coming. A dozen 5-star reviews. If you're not working the review game, you're really missing out. Contractors who can be trusted. I think that'll be on that Christmas list for ages to come. Professional agents. Here's the truth. We're going to work on this in 2024, and we're specifically going to raise the level of professionalism around the buyer side of our business. And we believe that we should have done that anyway, but now with the climate in the legal world, it's important that we really focus on it.
Brett, I can just say,
Yeah.
if I can just say this, that's one of the things this year we've noticed in our market center is that the agents that we're co-oping with, is we're having to help them through the process. And one as agents, if you're a veteran agent, you just got to remember what it was like to be new, because some of these, it's quite a few new people, and we have to, like in the shift book, you got to manage that transaction. So, so that we're just finding that that's something that's extremely important to make sure the agents are professional.
Yeah. Are you going to
Best way
start
to
writing
protect your client.
reviews? Are we going to start writing reviews on our own clients? That would be nice, right? Clients who understand how hard real estate agents actually work, the value of the real estate agent will go up. When it's a hard market, the value of the real estate agent goes up. I don't know that we'll ever solve this completely, but I believe that the conversations are actually going to change back to the professional part, to where people will understand our value proposition. A truth serum for buyers. Yeah, right. Clients who do not ask for a rebate. How about Zoom cameras on? Nobody on this call. And then a market rebound in 2024 is duly deserved. And I'm excited to say we believe that will happen. Last comments. Rick, Joel, what you got?
I'll say this. You kind of went over as far as our value proposition. I think that's something us as agents we have to get better at, helping people understand what value we do bring to the transaction. And I just think that's something we're going to have to relay that to people, and not just assume that people know what value we do bring. So that's just something I just wanted to say. But I think 2024 is going to be amazing. I really do.
I do too. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Rick,
it's
last
easy to-
words.
Easy to scoff at 23, but I tell you, it's a cleanse and it's good for the industry. And I think people, the bottom third who weren't terribly productive probably made life choices. And so I think there's a cleanse that creates market share and opportunity. I don't care how professional or capable you are. If you're a licensed realtor, there's 4 or 5 people that are going to do business with you. If you've got a business card who now aren't going to have them available. So I think there's opportunity today coming, into 24 that didn't exist this year from people that were hanging on by their fingernails.
There you go. We start and end on time, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Have a great